The frustration after 40. Why diets stop working. There's a message I received recently. It was 3:27 a.m. A woman named Linda, 58 years old, had written, "I've been dieting my entire adult life. I count every calorie, I skip meals, I walk every day, and yet my belly keeps growing. What am I doing wrong?" Linda isn't alone. If you're watching this and over 50, chances are you've felt the same. You've done everything right. You've eaten less, moved more, maybe tried Weight Watchers, keto, low fat, even intermittent fasting. At first, maybe you lost a few pounds. The scale moved, your pants fit better, but then it stopped. Or worse, the weight came back. And this time, it brought its friends. Belly fat, brain fog, achy joints, and that creeping feeling of, maybe I'm just getting old. Let me say this clearly. It is not your fault. What you're dealing with isn't a willpower problem. It's not because you're lazy or lack discipline. You're up against a body that has changed, hormonally, metabolically, and hormonally again. After 40, and especially after 50, your body doesn't play by the same rules. What worked in your 30s or 40s doesn't work now. In fact, the very things that used to help you lose weight, like eating less or skipping meals, might now be making things worse. Here's the good news. You're not broken. You're just following broken advice. And once you understand what's really happening inside your body, you can finally work with it instead of fighting it. In this video, I'll show you exactly what's going on with your metabolism after 50, and the 5 powerful shifts you can make to melt belly fat, balance your energy, and reclaim your health. But first, we have to start with one of the biggest myths in all of weight loss. Let's talk about why eat less, move more, the famous calories in, calories out model, fails almost everyone after 50.
Is a why calories in, calories out fails long term. Let's talk about one of the most frustrating pieces of advice ever given to people trying to lose weight, especially after 40. Just eat less and move more. You've probably heard it from your doctor, a fitness coach, or read it in some best-selling diet book. And on the surface, it sounds simple, even logical. If you consume fewer calories than you burn, the weight should come off, right? That's called the calories in, calories out model. But here's the reality. For many people, especially over 40, this formula doesn't just stop working. It backfires. Let me share a true story. I once worked with a man named Robert, 62 years old. He followed every rule. Tracked his food, walked 10,000 steps daily, ate chicken breast and steamed broccoli every night. He was on a strict 1,500 calorie diet, and yet his belly barely budged. His energy was in the tank. His sleep was restless, and despite doing everything right, he actually started gaining weight after a few months. Robert wasn't broken. His metabolism was protecting him. Here's what most diets miss. Your body isn't a calculator. It's a highly adaptive, intelligent system designed to survive. And when you cut calories too much or for too long, your body doesn't just burn fat, it adjusts. Your metabolism slows down to match the lower intake. Hormones like leptin, which tells you you're full, go down, while ghrelin, your hunger hormone, goes up. You get hungrier, tired, and your cravings spike. It's not because you're weak, it's because your biology is doing its job. Need proof? In 2016, researchers followed former contestants from the show The Biggest Loser, people who had lost massive amounts of weight through extreme calorie restriction and exercise. 6 years later, nearly all of them had gained the weight back. But here's the shocking part. Their metabolisms were still slower than before they started the show. Some were burning 500 fewer calories per day, even while regaining fat. That's the cost of forcing weight loss without supporting your hormones. So what's the lesson here? Fat loss after 40 isn't about eating less, it's about eating smarter. It's about choosing foods that regulate hormones, protect muscle mass, and prevent the starvation mode that stalls your progress. You don't need to punish your body into shrinking. You need to support it into healing. And a big part of that healing starts with a hidden villain in most people's daily routines. Something that seems innocent but silently blocks fat burning all day long. Let's talk about that next. Snacking. Why it destroys metabolism and what to do instead. Snacking and grazing, the hidden insulin bomb. Let me ask you something that might surprise you. How many times do you think you eat in a day? Most people over 50 would say, "Oh, I just eat 3 meals." But when we look a little closer, that coffee with cream and sugar first thing in the morning, that handful of almonds before lunch, the mints after a meeting, the afternoon granola bar, the few crackers while making dinner, and that small bowl of fruit after dinner, that's not 3 meals. That's 7, 8, sometimes more, and every single one of those small bites triggers a big response inside your body. Here's what's happening. Every time you eat, no matter how small, your body releases insulin. Insulin is a hormone that helps process food, especially carbs and sugar. But it also does something else. It tells your body, stop burning fat. It's storage time now. That's the part nobody talks about. You could be eating clean, counting calories, avoiding desserts, and still struggling with belly fat, simply because you're unknowingly spiking insulin all day long. I had a client named Janet, 59, who was doing everything healthy. She avoided sugar, walked every day, even practiced yoga, but she was still snacking, constantly. Nuts, protein bars, fruit, smoothies. She thought she was fueling her metabolism. In truth, she was blocking fat burning for 16 hours a day without realizing it. Once we reduced her eating occasions to just 2 solid meals and 1 snack, everything changed. Her waist shrank, her energy went up, and her sugar cravings disappeared within weeks. The truth is, snacking is one of the most overlooked causes of stubborn fat and metabolic dysfunction after 50. And the worst part? Most of us were taught that snacking was good, that it keeps your metabolism going. But science and real-life results show the exact opposite. So let's dig into this together. In the next section, I'll explain exactly how snacking affects your metabolism, your hormones, and your fat-burning potential. And more importantly, what you can do instead, starting today, to reclaim control of your hunger, energy, and waistline. Let's explore why frequent eating keeps your body stuck in storage mode, and how to flip the switch back to fat burning. From sugar burner to fat burner, how fat adaptation changes the game. Let's talk about one of the most important shifts your body can make, and most people don't even know it exists. It's the difference between being a sugar burner and a fat burner. If you've ever wondered why you're always tired, hungry, or craving something sweet, this could be your missing piece. You see, when your body runs primarily on sugar, or glucose, it's like driving a car that needs to be refueled every couple of hours. You eat, your blood sugar goes up, insulin spikes, energy rises, and then crashes. And that crash is what sends you reaching for the next snack or the next meal, even if you're not really hungry. It's a cycle that leaves you exhausted, dependent on food, and constantly storing fat. Now compare that to a fat burner. When your body is fat adapted, it doesn't rely on constant fuel from food. Instead, it taps into your stored body fat for energy, steadily, efficiently, and with fewer cravings. Your energy stays stable, your mind stays clear. You can go hours without even thinking about food. And the best part? You finally start to lose the stubborn fat that's been hanging around for years. Let me tell you about Tom, 63 years old. When he first came to me, he said, "I get hangry if I don't eat every 3 hours." He was stuck in sugar burning mode. So we started small. First, we reduced his processed carbs, pasta, bread, sugary snacks. Then, we slowly increased his healthy fats, avocados, eggs, olive oil, fatty fish. Within just 5 days, Tom noticed something remarkable. He could go from lunch to dinner without a snack. No cravings, no crash. A few weeks later, he was skipping breakfast naturally, not because he was forcing it, But because his body had become metabolically flexible, and his belly, it started shrinking. The truth is, your body was designed to burn fat. That's what it's built for. But in today's world of constant snacking and carb-heavy meals, we've lost that ability. The good news is, you can get it back, and surprisingly quickly. Start by reducing your total carbs gradually. If you're eating 250 grams per day, try dropping by 25% every day until you're around 50 grams or less. At the same time, focus on increasing healthy fats and protein at every meal. Follow the 2-22 rule, 2 tablespoons each of grass-fed butter or ghee, coconut or MCT oil, and olive or avocado oil. Spread across your day. These fats not only help shift your metabolism, they also keep you full and satisfied. Within a week, most people start to feel the difference. You'll notice more energy, fewer cravings, better sleep, and yes, your clothes start fitting better. That's the power of fat adaptation. And once your body remembers how to burn fat again, you unlock a whole new level of freedom, metabolic freedom. Now, once you've built this fat-burning foundation, you're ready to take the name.
Next step, learning how to cycle between fat and sugar in a way that keeps your metabolism strong and your hormones happy. That's what we'll explore next in the power of metabolic flexibility. Metabolic flexibility, the missing piece most diets ignore. Here's something most diet plans, even the trendy ones, forget to mention. You're not meant to burn fat forever, and you're not meant to burn sugar forever either. What your body truly needs, especially after 40, is the ability to do both. That's called metabolic flexibility, and it's the missing piece behind sustainable weight loss and long-term energy. Think of your metabolism like a hybrid car. A good one can switch seamlessly between gas and electric depending on the terrain. Your body should be able to burn sugar when it's available and burn fat when food is scarce. But for most people, especially those stuck in sugar-burning mode, that flexibility is gone. The result? You feel exhausted when you miss a meal. You crash after eating carbs. You struggle with plateaus, stubborn belly fat, and frustration that nothing seems to work anymore, no matter how hard you try. This is where metabolic flexibility becomes a game changer. It gives you control. It gives you energy. It gives you freedom. You're no longer a slave to snacks. You don't panic if lunch is late. Your body starts to use what's available, including your own stored fat, without you even thinking about it. Let me give you an example. A woman named Susan, 57, came to me after 6 weeks on strict keto. She'd lost weight, but then hit a wall. Tired, stuck, moody. That's when I introduced her to the concept of a feast day. Just once a week, we added healthy carbs like sweet potatoes, berries, and wild rice. The change was incredible. Within days, her energy came back, the weight loss resumed, and more importantly, she felt normal again. That's metabolic flexibility in action, knowing when to push fat burning and when to refuel strategically. The key here is not to stay in one lane forever. Keto is a powerful tool, but it's just that, a tool, not a permanent home. The goal isn't to stay in ketosis forever. The goal is to build a flexible metabolism that can shift effortlessly between burning carbs and burning fat. To do that, I recommend implementing one higher carb day every 7 to 10 days once you're fat adapted. This keeps your thyroid healthy, supports your hormones, and helps prevent weight loss plateaus. You're not cheating, you're being smart. You're working with your biology, not against it. And that mindset shift can make all the difference. When you reach metabolic flexibility, you don't fear food. You don't need to count every gram. You live with energy, peace, and confidence because your body is no longer fighting you. It's working with you. And once your metabolism is flexible, there's one more tool that takes your fat-burning potential to an entirely new level: fasting. Let's talk about how to use it safely and powerfully in the next section. The power of fasting, only when you're ready. Let's talk about one of the most powerful and misunderstood tools for fat loss after 40, fasting. Now I know, for many people the word fasting feels intimidating, maybe even dangerous. You might be thinking, if I skip meals, won't I lose muscle? Won't I feel dizzy or tired? Isn't that bad for my metabolism? And those concerns are completely valid if you try to fast before your body is ready.
But when done at the right time and in the right way, fasting is not starvation. It's restoration. It's a natural, ancient tool your body already knows how to use. You just need to reintroduce it gently with support. Here's the key. Fasting should always come after fat adaptation, not before. Trying to fast when your body is still addicted to sugar is like running a marathon without training. It's going to hurt. But once you've shifted to burning fat, your body has a clean, steady fuel source. You're no longer dependent on constant meals. That's when fasting feels natural. That's when you stop thinking about food every 2 hours. And that's when your body starts doing something incredible: healing. When you fast, even for just 16 to 18 hours, your insulin levels drop. Inflammation comes down. Your body activates a process called autophagy, a cellular cleanup system that helps remove damaged cells and make space for healthy regeneration. Your brain gets clearer. Your gut gets a break. Your metabolism resets. I had a client, Mike, 61, who was skeptical. He had been eating 6 small meals a day for years. But once we got him fat adapted, we started with a simple 16-8 fasting routine, just skipping breakfast and eating between 12 p.m. and 8 p.m. Within 2 weeks, his bloating was gone, his sleep improved, and he started losing weight without cutting more calories. Here's how I recommend you start. First, eliminate snacking and reduce your eating to just 3 solid meals per day. Do that for a week. Then, begin delaying your breakfast by 1 hour each day until your first meal is around noon. Congratulations, you're now doing a gentle form of intermittent fasting. Later on, if it feels right, you can try one 24-hour fast once a week, like finishing dinner at 6 p.m. and eating again the next day at 6 p.m. But always listen to your body. Hydrate. Keep your electrolytes up. Fasting isn't about pushing harder. It's about opening space for healing. The beauty of fasting is that it doesn't require you to buy anything. No fancy supplements, no meal plans. Just trust in your body's built-in intelligence and give it the break it deserves. And once your body learns to thrive in a fasted state, there are simple daily habits, ancient healing strategies that can boost your fat loss even further. That's exactly what we'll explore next. Ancient healing habits that boost fat loss without exercise. If you've been thinking that weight loss after 40 has to be all about intense workouts, long cardio sessions, or joining another boot camp, I have good news. Some of the most powerful fat-burning tools aren't found in the gym. In fact, they've been around for centuries. I call them ancient healing habits, simple, natural practices that help your body heal, balance hormones, and shed fat without a single dumbbell in sight. Let's start with something almost too simple to believe. Walking. Yes, walking. Not power walking, not hiking up a mountain, just gentle, intentional movement throughout the day. A recent study showed that people who walk just 7,000 steps per day reduce their risk of dying from any cause by up to 70%. But here's the part that applies to fat loss. Walking after meals. Even just 10 to 12 minutes can significantly lower your blood sugar, blunt insulin spikes, and improve digestion. It's a small shift with a big return. I had a client, Denise, 64, who hated exercise, but when we started her on 3 short walks a day, after breakfast, lunch, and dinner, she dropped 9 pounds in 6 weeks and said her joints hadn't felt that good in years. Next up, grounding, or what scientists call earthing. This is the practice of putting your bare feet on natural surfaces like grass, sand, or soil. It sounds strange, but there's real science behind it. Grounding helps discharge built-up inflammation in the body, balances the nervous system, and improves sleep, all of which are essential for weight loss. You don't need hours, just 15 to 20 minutes a day outside. Morning sun on your face, feet on the earth, can calm stress hormones and give your metabolism space to breathe. Then there's one of my favorite prescriptions, gratitude. Yes, gratitude, or as I like to call it, vitamin G. In a world filled with stress, fear, and constant comparison, cultivating daily gratitude changes everything. Studies show that regular gratitude practice lowers cortisol, improves insulin sensitivity, and even helps regulate appetite. One woman I worked with, Helen, 60, started a 3 Things I'm Grateful For journal every morning, and she swore it helped her stop emotional eating at night. She said, It reminded me that I wasn't broken. I was just disconnected from my own care. That insight alone helped her lose more than any diet had before. So here's the bigger picture. You don't have to chase fat loss with punishment or pressure. Sometimes, the most effective strategies are the gentlest ones. Walking, grounding, gratitude, they're free, accessible, and healing. They reconnect you with your body in a way that no fad diet or trendy workout ever could. And while these ancient habits support your body from the outside in, there's one internal marker that tells us whether your metabolism is actually healing or still stuck. Most doctors overlook it, but it might just be the most important number you'll ever know. Let's talk about that next. Don't guess, test. The number one marker no one talks about. When it comes to weight loss, most people rely on the scale. Some check their blood sugar, a few track their calories or macros, but there's one number almost no one talks about. And yet it's possibly the most important marker of your metabolic health. It's called fasting insulin. Not glucose, not A1C, not cholesterol, fasting insulin. This single blood test can tell you if your body is in fat-burning mode or stuck in storage mode, long before your blood sugar ever changes. Here's why it matters. Insulin is the hormone that tells your body what to do with energy. When it's low and balanced, your body burns fat for fuel, your energy is steady, and inflammation goes down. But when insulin stays high, even just slightly, your body holds on to fat like it's storing up for winter. And the frustrating part is this: your fasting blood sugar can look normal for years, while your insulin is slowly creeping up in the background. You feel stuck, tired, and heavier, and most doctors never test for it. Let me share a story. Alan, 60, came to me frustrated. His doctor told him his blood sugar was fine. But he couldn't lose weight and his energy crashed every afternoon. I asked him to request a fasting insulin test. The result? His insulin was 19, more than double the healthy range. We didn't put him on more meds. We focused on the plan you're learning here. Lower carbs, increase healthy fats, practice intermittent fasting, walk daily. 3 months later, his insulin dropped to 6. His energy was back. His belly shrank, and for the first time in years, he felt in control. So what's the takeaway? Don't guess, test. Ask your doctor for a fasting insulin test. It's a simple blood draw done after 12 to 14 hours of fasting, usually first thing in the morning. You want that number to be in the single digits, ideally between 3 and 7. If it's over 10, your body is likely in a state of insulin resistance. And if it's over 20, that's a red flag. But it's also a wake-up call you can act on today. And if you want to go even deeper, tools like a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, or a simple fingerstick glucose and ketone meter can help you see in real time how your body responds to different foods, stress, sleep, and movement. But it starts with awareness and taking charge of your own data. Because the truth is, your body is always talking to you. You just need the right tools to listen. And once you do, fat loss becomes less of a mystery and more of a science you can actually master. Now, you might be wondering, what does all of this mean for your day-to-day life? How do you put it together in a way that feels doable, realistic? Let's take a moment to bring everything together. You've just learned that losing weight after 40, and especially after 50, is not about eating less or exercising more. It's about working with your body, not against it. It's about understanding that your metabolism, hormones, and even your nervous system change with age. And that's not a failure. That's biology. But here's the empowering part. When you start giving your body the right signals, it begins to heal. You reduce insulin. You regulate hunger. You shift from sugar burning to fat burning. You reclaim your energy, your sleep, your confidence, and yes, your waistline too. Think back to the tools we covered, ending the constant snacking that keeps insulin high, embracing fat adaptation so your body has access to clean, steady fuel, learning to become metabolically flexible so you can enjoy both low-carb days and smart refeed days without guilt, practicing fasting gently, only when your body is ready, adding ancient healing practices like walking, grounding, and gratitude that restore your body's natural rhythm. And finally, testing, not guessing, so you can make decisions based on your unique biology, not someone else's rules. This is the roadmap to sustainable fat loss. Not a quick fix, not a crash diet, but a real evidence-based shift that respects where you are in life and where you want to go. And the best part? You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be consistent. Because every small change, eating one less snack, walking after dinner, waiting an hour before your first meal, signals to your body, hey, I'm ready to heal. And the body listens. It always does. I've seen it with thousands of people in their 40s, 50s, 60s, and beyond. People who thought they had tried everything, only to realize they'd just never been given the right tools. You deserve those tools. You deserve to feel light, energized, and at home in your body again. If you've seen yourself in the stories I've shared today, if something clicked, don't ignore it. Try one change, just one. Start tomorrow. Your next chapter doesn't begin with guilt or willpower. It begins with curiosity, consistency, and care. And if you've ever wondered, could I be insulin resistant? Is that why nothing's working? In the next video, I'll walk you through exactly how to recognize the signs of insulin resistance and how to start reversing it, naturally and gently, starting today. Thanks for watching. Remember, your health is your greatest asset. If you found this video helpful, give it a like, share it with someone who might need it, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We'll keep bringing you clear, science-backed information on obesity, weight control, and living your healthiest life so you can take charge of your future, starting today.